All right, so everybody and their grandmother has been asking me the same question this week. And the question is basically this. Anthropic just put out this Fable 5 thing. OpenAI's got ChatGPT 5.6, and people want to know which one do I use? And my answer is you're asking the wrong question. That's like asking me which hammer is better before you've told me if you're hanging a picture or building a deck. So today we're going to fix that. We're going to talk about what a model actually is, what this effort level knob does, because frankly, most people are turning that knob like it's a volume dial and it is not. And then I'm going to walk you through a real project where you'd use both of these things together. And it involves my garage, which, spoiler alert, looks like a GameStop exploded in 1997. So first things first, what is a model? And I want you to actually get this, because once you get it, everything else clicks. A model is a brain that got baked at the factory. That's it. These companies take a mountain of text, basically everything humanity ever bothered to write down, the good stuff, the garbage, the fan fiction, all of it, and they run it through training, which is this insanely expensive process where the thing slowly learns patterns. Language, code, reasoning, how people argue on the internet, so on and so forth. And when training is done, the brain is frozen, done, sealed, shipped. When you talk to Fable 5 or ChatGPT 5.6, you are not teaching it anything. It is not learning from you. It's like a student who graduated, walked across the stage, got the diploma, and now every conversation you have with them, they're using whatever was in their head on graduation day. Fable 5 is one graduate. ChatGPT 5.6 is a different graduate from a different school across town. Different training, different personality, different strengths. Make sense? Now, here's where people get confused. And this is the part I really want to nail down. The effort level. Because people think low effort means dumb model and high effort means smart model. And no, wrong. Same brain. The effort level is how long you let that brain sit with your problem before it opens its mouth. Think of it like this. You ask me what 7 times 8 is. I say 56 done, 0 effort. I didn't even slow down my walk. You ask me to figure out why your retirement account is bleeding money. I'm going to want to sit down, maybe get a coffee, scribble some things, check my scribbles, cross stuff out. Same Michael, same brain, allegedly, but way more thinking before the answer comes out. That's effort level. On low, the model basically blurts out the first good answer it sees. On high, it reasons through the problem step by step behind the scenes, considers a few angles, catches its own mistakes, then answers. And here's the punchline everybody misses. That thinking costs real money in real time. All that behind the scenes reasoning burns tokens, and tokens are the meter running. So cranking everything to maximum effort is like hiring a $400 an hour lawyer to read your parking ticket. Is he going to read it thoroughly? Oh, absolutely. Did you need that? You did not. So the mental model is a law firm. Which model you pick is WHO you hire. The effort level is how many hours you let them bill. 2 different decisions, right? Okay, so now the showdown. Fable 5 versus ChatGPT 5.6. And I'm going to disappoint some of you here because I am not going to stand up here and quote benchmark numbers because those things change every 20 minutes. Half of them are marketing anyway, and by the time you hear this episode, there will be a new one. What I'll give you instead is the honest working man's version of how these two families differ from someone who actually uses this stuff instead of just tweeting about it. Both of these are frontier models, meaning they're the top shelf, the good scotch, the stuff behind the counter. For most everyday questions, write me an email, explain this contract, why is my code broken? Either one will do great and you will not be able to tell the difference. Where it gets interesting is at the edges. The Claude family, and Fable 5 is the new top of that line, has historically been the one you want for long, careful, grinded out work. Big coding sessions where the thing has to keep track of a whole project without losing the plot. Agent style stuff where it's running tools and making decisions for an hour straight. Writing where the tone actually matters. And you don't want it to sound like a press release wrote a press release. The ChatGPT side has been the everything store, massive ecosystem, plugs into everything, huge user base, very good general assistant, and OpenAI iterates on that consumer experience constantly. So my crude, unfair, but useful summary, if I'm building something or doing long, careful work, I lean Claude. If I want a Swiss Army knife that my mother-in-law could also use, the ChatGPT side is genuinely great at that. Is that a stereotype? Kind of. Are stereotypes about software more accurate than stereotypes about people? Shockingly, yes. And here's my hot take. You ready? Which model you pick matters less than whether you pick the right effort for the job. I have watched people pay flagship prices at maximum effort to summarize a lunch menu. That's the racket. The companies are happy to let you do it. Don't do it. All right, the fun part. The garage project. So hypothetically, a handsome, extremely fit podcast host has roughly 2,000 old video games, trading cards, and assorted plastic nonsense in his garage, and his wife has issued what the diplomats would call an ultimatum. Everything gets cataloged, priced, and listed for sale, or it goes in a dumpster. This is a perfect project for mixing models and effort levels, so let me walk you through the dealio. Step 1, the grunt work. 2,000 photos, and for each one I need the title, the platform, the condition, yada, yada, yada. This is an assembly line. So I take a fast, cheap model, could be from either family, set the effort to low, and let it rip. Blurt mode, because reading a game cartridge label does not require deep contemplation. And at 2,000 items, paying for thinking time here is lighting money on fire. Step 2, the weird pile. Every collection has that 10% where it gets murky. Is this the rare variant cover or the common one? Is this a first print? Here I bring in ChatGPT 5.6 at medium or high effort because now I genuinely want it reasoning. Comparing details, weighing the evidence, telling me how confident it is. This is the sit down and get a coffee problem. Step 3, the strategy. Now I've got a spreadsheet of 2,000 items and I need the big brain question answered. What do I bundle? What do I auction versus fixed price? In what order do I list things so I don't flood my own market? For that, I hand the whole spreadsheet to Fable 5 on high effort and let it chew. Long context, careful multi-step reasoning over the entire collection at once. That is exactly the grinded out work this thing is built for. That's my $400 lawyer. And this time the case deserves him. And step 4, my favorite, the listings themselves. 2,000 descriptions that need to sound like a charming human and not a robot having a stroke. I have Fable 5 at medium effort write me templates with actual personality. Then the cheap model on low effort stamps out variations for every item. One expensive craftsman, an army of cheap interns. That's the whole architecture, frankly. That's how the pros build these systems. So bottom line, and then I'll let you go. A model is a frozen brain, and different brains are good at different things. Effort level is how long you let that brain think. And it's a completely separate dial from which brain you picked. Fable 5, ChatGPT 5.6. Both phenomenal. Stop looking for a single winner. Hire for the job. And whatever you do, stop paying premium thinking prices for questions a magic 8-ball could handle. The garage is getting cleaned either way. That's the show. Questions, comments, concerns, bribes. You know where to find me. I'll see everybody on Tuesday.